Hi and welcome to another story, and today we have part 6 of Best Friends by Jacqueline Wilson, continuing from chapter 9. I was sent to bed in disgrace. It looked like I was going to take up permanent residence in my bedroom. I'd grow white and wasted, stuck in a horizontal position forever, with only the ceiling to stare at. I'd be the girl in the bedroom, not properly part of the family. Mum and Dad and Callum and Jack would forget all about me. Alice would forget me too, but I'd never ever forget about her. I sat up and found my school bag. I inked "Alice is my best friend forever" all over the cover of my rough book. I wrote it on my book review book, and then I opened it up and wrote a review about a book called Best Friends. I'd never read a book called Best Friends. I didn't know if one existed. If Mrs. Watson queried it, I'd tell her I borrowed it from the library. I'd made up books before. It was more fun reviewing pretendy books than real ones. I once wrote about a book called 101 Chocolate Bars. I described as many as I could, all total invention. Biscuits helped me when I ran out of ideas. His chocolate bars were all giant-sized with astonishing fillings. I remember his sausage and mash flavour chocolate truffles and his novelty egg and bacon bar. But biscuits was my worst enemy now. Best Friends. This is the best book ever because of its subject matter, i.e. best friends. The girls in this book have been friends all their lives. Then they are separated by their thoughtless, selfish families. They end up living hundreds of miles apart. This is heartbreaking, I assure you. But the reason this is the best book ever is because it has a happy ending. The girl up in Scotland comes back home because her family hated up there. They move back to their old house and the two girls are best friends again. I clasped my book review to my chest, shut my eyes tight and wished that my story could have that happy ending too. I heard barking Mad scuffling on the stairs. Jack put his head round the door. "How's the projectile vomiter?" he said. "Shut your mouth." "No, you're the one who should learn to keep your mouth shut. I was the poor sap sitting opposite you. Talk about yuck and the smell. I had to strip off and have a shower, even though I already had a shower this morning." Jacqueline vampire acts like all water is holy, and a little sprinkle will make him shrivel up. He's got a cheek moaning about the smell of my sick. It's not always a good idea to get downwind of my brother Jack. "Just bog off," I mumbled, burying my head in my pillow. "Jem, look, I'm sorry." Jack sat on the end of my bed and took hold of me by the ankle. "Hey, do you want to ring Alice again on my mobile?" "I don't know her new number. I need her to phone me, but her mum won't let her. She hates me, you know she does. She wants Alice to forget all about me. And maybe she will." I wailed, starting to cry. Jack backed rapidly out of my room. He's always fazed if people cry. Maybe it's too watery an experience for him. He must have told on me to Mum because she came up from the kitchen. I filled the washing machine twice over, and I've had to tackle the tablecloth by hand. "That was a job and a half, I can tell you," said Mum, wiping her wet hands on her trousers. "What are you like, Gemma? Why can't you be sick neatly down the toilet like everyone else?" I kept my head in the pillow. "Are you crying? Jack said you seemed very upset. You're not still feeling poorly, are you? If you're going to be sick again, then you'd better get into that bathroom pronto." "I'm not feeling sick. I'm feeling sad," I sobbed. Mum sighed. Then she came and sat on the bed beside me. "Poor old Jemmy," she said softly. She used to call me Jemmy long ago when I was little and looked a lot cuter, and she still had hopes I'd turn into a curly, girly little like Alice. "I miss her so much, Mum." "Oh, come on, Jem. You're being a bit of a drama queen now. She's only been gone 5 minutes. You haven't had time to miss her." "But I do. I've seen Alice almost every single day since we were born." "I suppose you have. Well, you'll just have to find a new friend now, won't you?" "I don't want a new friend. How many times do I have to say it? Hey, don't take that tone of voice with me," said Mum, giving me a little shake. "You don't understand, Mum. Look, what if Dad had to go and live in Scotland? You'd get cross if someone told you to go and find a new husband the minute he was gone." Said Mum. She raised her eyebrows. "Maybe I could be tempted. Your dad's got a bit worn around the edges." She shook her head when she saw my expression. "I'm only joking, pet. Of course I wouldn't swap your dad for the world, but losing a friend isn't the same. Look, Karen is my friend, but I'm not making a big fuss about her going, though I'll miss her a lot." Mum wouldn't miss her the way I was missing Alice. Mum and Auntie Karen were never that close. They went to keep fit together and line dancing, and they sometimes went up to London to do a bit of shopping, but that was all. They could go weeks without seeing each other. Mum had gone off Auntie Karen recently because she'd got a bit snobby and stuck up. Auntie Karen kept showing off about her new blonde highlights and her juicy sports clothes and her state-of-the-art new mobile. "Mum, Auntie Karen's mobile. What about it? You've got her number. Oh, please, let's phone her." "Get real, Gemma. She's not going to let you talk to Alice. She says you're a bad influence." "Which you are, heaven help me." "Can't you beg her, Mum? Just for 2 minutes. I need to know that Alice is okay. I mean, if I'm crying, just think what she'll be like. Spouting fountains, said Mum. All right, we'll give it a go. If you promise to be as good as gold and stop all this fussing. Right, I said, bouncing upright. Now, just take it easy. You've just been sick, remember? I certainly do. And don't get all excited because I don't think you'll have much luck. We went downstairs to the phone in the hall. Mum dialed the number and she waited. Then she took a deep breath. Hi, Karen. She used her "Can I help you, madam?" shop voice to show she could be dead posh too. Yes, it's Liz. So, how was the journey? What were the removal men like? Is it going to be the house of your dreams? I knew Mum was simply trying to be friendly and relax Auntie Karen, but these questions were fatal. Auntie Karen's voice droned on in Mum's ear for the next 10 minutes. Mum murmured politely for a bit, but then she started fidgeting. There's no way anyone can interrupt Auntie Karen when she gets going. Mum raised her eyebrows. Then she held the phone at arm's length. Words like conservatory and ensuite bathroom and power shower buzzed around the room like bees. Mum pulled her face at the phone and mouthed rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. I snorted with laughter and had to cover my mouth with my hands. Mum shook her head at me, but she was grinning too. It all sounds lovely, Karen, really, Mum said. And Alice is so lucky. Imagine her own bathroom. How is Alice? Gemma's very down. Missing her so much. Listen, I know Gemma's been a very naughty girl, though actually I don't think that running away idea was all down to her. But anyway, do you think you could possibly let her have a little chat with Alice? Mum listened. She phoned yesterday pretending to be who? Mum said, glaring at me. Oh, my lord, what am I going to do with this child? Well, I'll certainly tick her off soundly. Even so, if she apologises very nicely, could she just talk to Alice for 2 minutes? Mum waited. I waited. I hardly dared breathe. Then Mum smiled and handed me the phone. Hi, Jem. Oh, Alice, it's so awful, I said. I miss you so much. I know, I miss you too terribly. Have you been crying? Lots. My eyes are all pink. I cried so much in the car coming up here that Mum got cross with me. My mum's been very cross with me, I said. I glanced at her guiltily. But she's being ever so nice now. Well, mine is too, I suppose. And Dad, golden syrup got lost in the move along with a whole chest of my things, but Dad's bought me a new teddy, a special girl teddy in a ballet dress. She's so cute with little satin ballet shoes on her paws. What about my grandma's doll? I asked anxiously. She didn't get lost, did she? Oh no, Melissa's fine. Honest? I swear, Jem, Mum wrapped her up in a bubble wrap, and she carried her in a special bag with all the china ornaments. Mum said I should really have given her back to you. Do you want her back, Gemma? I did want her back, sadly, especially now Grandad had told me about my grandma, but I didn't like to ask. No, I want you to keep her, Alice, I said. When you're feeling extra specially lonely, you can give her a cuddle and pretend she's me. I can't cuddle her. She'd get spoilt, said Alice. But then she added, whispering, do you know what I did nearly all the way in the car? I held my own thumb and pretended it was you holding my hand. Oh, Alice, I said, crying again. Oh, Jem, said Alice. I heard Auntie Karen saying stuff in the background, sounding exasperated. I've got to go, Gemma, said Alice. Wait, what's your land phone number? We haven't got one yet. What's your address? Greystanes, Rotherham, Angus. I don't know the postcode thingy yet. I'll write, Gemma, I promise. Bye now. We are still best friends, aren't we? You know we are, forever. She switched off the phone. I felt as if I'd been switched off too. I flopped down on the stairs, cradling the phone as if Alice herself was trapped inside. Look at you, said Mum, shaking her head. That phone call was meant to cheer you up. Dear, oh dear, don't go so dramatic on me. The pair of you were acting like Romeo and Juliet. I'd watched the video with Callum and thought it seriously cool, though I couldn't always work out what the words meant. I feel like Romeo and Juliet. Look what happened to them. They died. Yes, well, you've got to go on living, sweetheart. Here, you missed your chance getting your grandma's doll back, you silly girl. Karen had no right to let Alice accept it. And what's all this about you phoning her up and pretending to be someone else? I said I was Francesca Gilmore Brown. She's this awful snooty pops girl in Alice's ballet class. I just went, oh, I'm awfully sorry to bother you, but could I possibly have a teensy word with Alice? And Auntie Karen went all yucky like, oh, Francesca, sweetie, how lovely to hear from you. Oh, let me suck up to you because you're so rich and pretty and even posher than us. So much more suitable than that scruffy little Gemma who's been such a bad influence on my little angel Alice. You are bad, said Mum, but she was snorting with laughter. You've got her voice spot on, Gemma. You ought to go on the stage. I couldn't cheer me up, but at least I'd made Mum laugh. I put my arms around her neck. Thanks for sorting out the phone call, Mum. That's okay. But I can't keep on pestering Karen. You know as well as I do that she doesn't want Alice to stay friends. But, boo sucks to her. We are friends, forever and ever. Yes, but Don't forget Alice will be going to a new school, making new friends. No, she won't. You don't want her to be lonely, do you? Well, no. So, okay, maybe she can have one or two just at school friends, but I'm still her best friend. Oh, Gemma, I just don't want you to get hurt, love. But maybe Alice wasn't going to forget me. She wrote to me straight away, and she put her full address on the back of the envelope. Dearest Gem, I miss you so much. It was great to talk to you on the phone. I'd give anything for you to be here with me. I had to go to the new school today, and it was so scary. It's an old pokey school, and we've got an old teacher called Mrs. McKay, who's so strict, she makes Mr. Beaton seem like a cuddly teddy bear. Hey, did I tell you about Bella, my ballet dancing bear? She is so cute. There's a girl in my form who does ballet, and she says I can go to her classes. She's okay, and one of the boys said the other boy, Jamie, thought I was pretty. But all the others are horrid, and they make fun of the way I talk. Only we're not supposed to talk at all in class, or Mrs. McKay gets mad. You would be in so much trouble if you went to my new school, Jem. I haven't got started telling you stuff about the new house and the new bedroom. It's pink, and I wish you could see it, but my hand is really aching with all this writing. I wish I had a computer. I miss you. Lots and lots of love from your very best friend, Alice. Dear Alice, thank you so much for your letter, but can you write an even longer one next time? Please, please, please. If your right hand gets tired, try using your left hand instead. I don't mind a bit of your if a bit of your writing is wobbly. Or you could try holding the pen in your teeth, or whip your shoes and socks off and write with your toes. But I need you to tell me how you are and whether you've been crying and if you're having bad dreams. And I want to know exactly how much you're missing me. Okay, here's a little questionnaire for you. Do you miss Gemma? A, not at all. In fact, you're not even sure who Gemma is, though her name sounds vaguely familiar. B, occasionally, when you glance at Melissa. C, a lot, and you sometimes sigh sadly and whisper, oh, Gem, I wish you were here. D, desperately, you think about her all the time and wish you were back being her best friend, where you belong. I don't miss you. A, or B, or C, or even D. I go way down the alphabet to Z. I've been crying and crying and crying. My eyes are as crimson as blood, and Mum keeps having to get her bucket and squeezy mop to soak up my pool of tears. Hey, she had to get out all the cleaning stuff in her cupboard the other day because I was sick all over everywhere because I was in such a traumatised state. I'd always also eaten rather a lot of cakes and chocolates and ice cream. Grief doesn't make me lose my appetite. It makes me hungrier and hungrier. Beware, when we eventually get to see each other again, how, you probably won't recognise me. I shall be as fat as horrible, hateful, stupid old biscuits. Fatter, imagine, we won't be able to cuddle up in bed if we have a sleepover because I might roll over on you and squash you flat. Still, if I can grow as big as a house, then Mum and Dad won't be able to tell me what to do. I'll tell them. I'll say, right, give me lots of money, and then I'll hire a giant helicopter and wedge myself into it somehow, and I'll whir up to Scotland in a matter of minutes and snatch you up, and then we'll go off adventuring together. And if your Mum and Dad try to stop us, I'll stamp on them, okay? Lots and lots and lots of love from your all-time best friend, Gemma. Dear Gem, I'm writing this at school because my mum says she doesn't want me to write to you anymore. You'll never guess what she did. She opened your letter to me, and she didn't like it one bit, especially the part where you said you'd stamp on her. And she fussed about the helicopter stuff too, like you could really hire a helicopter. But anyway, she says I mustn't write back, and we've got to stop being friends. But don't worry, of course we'll stay friends. And listen, Gem, I've got a brilliant way of us writing to each other. There's this girl in my class, Flora. You know, she does ballet too. Well, she saw I'd been crying and asked why, and so I told her I was missing you, and my mum won't let me write, etc., etc., etc. And she said, why didn't I email? And I said, I haven't got my own computer, and I'm only allowed to use my dad's if he's supervising me. And she said she's got a computer, and I can go round to her house and send you an email any time I want. I know you haven't got your own computer yet, but what about your brother Jack? Flora's email address is floraweegirl@hotmail.com. I do hope we can email each other, Gem. Did I tell you about my new bedroom? It's amazing. Flora says she thinks it's the most beautiful bedroom she's ever seen. Your best friend forever, Alice. And that is where we will leave part 6 of Best Friends by Jacqueline Wilson. I'll be back soon with the next part of this fantastic story and lots more stories and videos coming your way very, very soon. If you'd like to subscribe or hit a like, that's always appreciated. Thanks for your support as ever, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.